is up, guys? It is the one Prodigy, or Prodigy Vlogs, and today I have something special for you guys, something lit, something I've never done before. I felt like I kind of have to do this just because I'm a huge fan of these people. It's also my hometown. If you guys do not know, if you guys don't follow the Clout House, if you don't follow like Rice Gum, Wolfie Raps, T-Wop's lit, dude. He's like the best editor out there. Faze K. But if you don't follow anyone there, then you really wouldn't know. If you're not watching the news from Cleveland, you wouldn't really know what's going on with Faze Banks, Alyssa Violet, Channel 19 News, and the Barley House downtown. This is a very interesting case, and I'm a huge supporter of Faze Banks and Alyssa, the Clout House, everyone over there. I mean, it's like my hugest goal to one day work with them in like an environment that they're in. I would love to work with them. They're amazing content creators. They have such good work ethic, all that stuff. I'm a huge fan, so this is not hate towards them, and I'm actually on their side. So before we get into delving into what happened, I just want you guys to know I'm on their side. Do not personally attack me. I'm agreeing and I'm on their side, all right? Down dogs. We're just gonna be delving into what happened pretty much on that night from the point of view of Banks and from Barley House. There was just a court case that happened 2 days ago, I think. There's not going to be another one till the 13th. But without further ado, let's get into this vlog. For those of you who do not know or are not following what happened, it was last weekend, I would say. Yeah, last weekend. Banks and Alyssa Violet were in Cleveland. Well, they were in Ohio, and they ended up in the Cleveland area because they were visiting Alyssa Violet's family. I'm gonna do a little rundown of what was said to have happened from the point of view of Banks first, and then we'll transition into what Barley House and 19 News is saying, and what the court ruling was that just happened 2 days ago. To start this all off, Banks is coming to Ohio because Alyssa Violet's family live here. He didn't want to start any problems. He didn't come with any of his friends. He didn't come here to record content. You know, we didn't see any vlogs, anything that was coming out during this point of time in which he was here in Ohio, because he was only here for a very short amount of time. From what Banks is saying in his long 34-minute vlog, if you guys want to watch that, the link will be down in the description below, so go check that out. Anyways, he was here for a very short amount of time. I mean, he didn't come here to start issues. He didn't come here with his friends. He didn't come here to make content. He came here simply to be with Alyssa Violet's family, to meet them and to be with Alyssa during this holiday season. Completely normal. There's nothing wrong with that. On the last day, before his flight was supposed to leave, I think on Sunday, so Saturday night, he went to the Barley House and obviously brought the family. You know, he was with Alyssa in an area he's never been to before, because he's not from Cleveland. Keep that in mind. So he's in an area where he has no clue who anyone is, where everything is. You know, he has no idea what the kind of people are like. I mean, this is a whole different thing from where he's currently living. He lives in California, in Los Angeles. Very different. He knew that. He was not going to start any problems. He goes on in his vlog about they're buying food. He's not drinking. He's spending a lot of money. They're spending a lot of money there, buying food, drinks. Everyone's having a good time. It's a good night until the end of the night starts to roll around when it's closing time. And Banks' point of view, and I totally believe this because after looking up a lot of footage that has been released and altered by Barley House, because they're not releasing full footage, what you get to see is only what Alyssa and Banks are doing wrong. Keep that in mind, that there are a lot of clips missing. Keep that in mind. What happened is Banks was downstairs waiting in this, he wasn't even in the restricted area. The bouncer did not let him through this restricted area. So the bouncer is like a huge point in this whole conversation. So there's a bouncer down into this restricted area. There's a bathroom down in this basement restricted area. Alyssa and her friend went in, the bouncer let them through after saying that it's a restricted area, no one's allowed there, let them through to go into the bathroom. The bouncer obviously stopped Banks and was like, no, restricted area, you're not allowed down here. Which doesn't make any sense, seeing as Alyssa and her friend just got through. Normal club behavior that happens all the time. You'll see that at any party pretty much. Banks obviously was like, dude, you just let my girlfriend in. Like, we also have permission. We are allowed down in this area. So obviously Banks is making that. It's a good argument and it's very viable because it is completely unfair that he was not allowed to go wait for his girlfriend past that line. This bouncer is initiating this conflict, okay? Banks is like, you know what? Whatever, I'll just wait here. From what Barley House would like you to believe, Banks got very extremely violent, started attacking the bouncer, started causing all these issues, and in the clip that they show is Banks starting a fight, and then it just magically appears outside. From what Banks is saying, and what I believe, is after this little argument, things get heated, obviously. The bouncer put his hands on Banks first, all right? I believe that completely. I believe that 100%. Bouncers are, I'm 110% sure that that bouncer put the hands on them first. I believe this because they still haven't released footage proving yet that the bouncer didn't do that. They did have footage that would prove that they were innocent and that what Banks is saying is not true. They would have released it. I mean, look at the chaos that has ensued since this whole thing began. It's pretty insane. So Banks and the bouncer get into this little scuffle. From what Banks is saying is two people from upstairs and the bouncer. The bouncer got him into a headlock. People start dragging him upstairs. They're throwing all these words around like, you gotta get out of here, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, we'll go fast forward. So a couple of days ago, what happened was there was a court case where Barley House just put a restraining order on Banks, but also has a lot of amendment limiting factors thrown into this little whatever you want to call it, because it's not even just a restraining order anymore. It's like they're not allowed to talk about them in certain like, it's pretty insane. They're not allowed to talk about the people that are along in the case. Like, there's just a lot of stuff where they're limiting people's rights to free speech in this, which is obviously going to be attacked because that is against the law. You cannot do that. Either way, that happens. What Barley House is saying is obviously Banks and Alyssa have a huge following. The people who are upset about this situation obviously called in, obviously wrote reviews, which is totally fine, totally normal. If you do not want to receive this type of feedback, don't be that type of business then. If your employees had handled the situation correctly, you would not have these reviews under your hands. You would not have any of this under your hands. I mean, that's just how it is. You guys messed up, Barley House. You guys messed up. That's just how it is. Now you realize that you guys are messing up. I 110% believe Banks. I just believe what Banks and Alyssa are saying. It seems the most reasonable and likely thing. I've been watching Banks for a very long time. I truly do not believe that they would just literally out of nowhere, Barley House is saying this, they just started attacking people and they just started causing problems. They're very loud, very rambunctious. I just do not believe that. I don't believe that Banks would even start an issue where he has none of his friends around, none of a support system to back him up, besides Alyssa and her family, but he doesn't even know her family. That was the first time that they were really meeting. I mean, like, it's like a whole thing where people just need to think logically in this situation. And in my personal opinion, Banks and Alyssa are completely innocent. I do not believe that anything should happen to them. Cleveland 19 News is just taking exactly what Barley House is saying and just publishing that. I mean, it's pretty insane, and it's pretty funny to see how like interwoven they are, because you can obviously see that they're a partner company. They obviously have connections to the Barley House. I just don't think that Banks and Alyssa are gonna get in trouble for this, and this is just like another thing that's being thrown at them, and it's really sad to see, because this is such a good city, and for them to go to the Barley House and the Barley House to do this, Barley House, you guys messed up, man. I just don't think that you guys are gonna win. I think that Banks and Alyssa have this one 110%. You guys picked the wrong person to start this with, because he has experience in this field art. So, I mean, good luck to you guys, but I just don't think that it's going to be a win for you. After explaining all of that, if you guys want to check out Banks' video, like I said before, it'll be in the description below. if you want to see his full story for anything that I left out, or if you want to just do some research for yourself. If you actually believe in what the Barley House is saying, you can go watch the Barley House, their little interviews where they're saying all this different stuff on what happened, or you could go check out Channel 19 News because they obviously have a lot to say as well, but they're going to be saying the same thing the Barley House is saying. Because anyways, I think that's going to be the end of this video for you guys. If you did enjoy, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps me, which in turn helps you guys. As always, I hope to see you in my next vlog, and until next time, guys, keep it real. You sexy beasts.